What was the biggest hint you missed from someone who was attracted to you? She asked me for a back massage. I happily obliged. She was wearing a tank top, and she let the straps fall off her shoulders. I forgive myself because I was only 15. But dang. Do you have a girlfriend? She asked. No. Why? I replied. Why do you think she asked? Because you're doing a survey, I said. And the survey says, no poon. Girl in high school and I were walking together, and she stroked my hand then held out her hand. I proceeded to high-five it, and nothing happened between us after that. You can't leave someone hanging. A longtime friend that had previously said we'd never hook up turned to me one night after going to the bar, hands on my hips. She moved in to kiss me, and I, remembering that we were never going to hook up, I thought it would be hilarious to stick my tongue up her nose. She called me an butthole. We're still pals, though. This is hilarious though. My friend once wore a banana suit to her party. He was approached by a very attractive girl. They got to talking and she said, I've always wanted to frick a guy in a banana suit. His response, well, if you find a guy I'll let him borrow this one. That's a Churchill level rejection. I'm full of these, because I'm totally clueless. My most recent one however was at the start of my freshman year of college. I was in the school bookstore buying a book I'd neglected to order online, and making small talk with the counter attendant. I'm in the Midwest. It's expected here. We exchanged the usual pleasantries, and I asked her how her day was. Her answer, oh, not too bad. I get off for lunch pretty soon. Over the course of the remaining 5 minutes I'm waiting on my book, my dad was buying the book, and had some credit card difficulties. She mentions the word lunch about 7 times. I take no notice, get my book, and leave. As I'm walking out to the car, my dad turns to me and says, Jesus Christ kid, if she said the word lunch one more time I was gonna ask her myself. Until my mistake was pointed out to me, I had just thought she was hungry. Haha, your dad sounds like a funny guy. Oh, I remembered another one. When I was in high school, I had just gotten my license and a friend of a friend asked me if I could drive her home after school because she didn't have a car yet. So I drive her home. Upon arriving at her place, this takes place. Her, wanna come in for a bit. My parents aren't home and I know how to get into my dad's liquor cabinet. She had a huge grin on her face. Me, oh no thanks. I still have to drive home. She looked at me like, are you freaking serious? Let out a loud huff and got out of the car. I went on a date with her and still didn't realize. I got a text from a girl at work that I liked one evening saying she was at a bar near to me with a friend and did I want to join them. I went for a couple drinks and she invited me along to an art exhibition the next day with her friend and her friend's boyfriend. The next day, her friend and the boyfriend mysteriously couldn't make it and we spent the day together wandering around this exhibition, got coffee and generally hung out. I mentioned it in passing to my housemate about a month later. She facepalmed then had to explain to me in simple words that I was an idiot and she'd invited me to the bar the night before to get her friend's opinion on me and there was never any intention of her friend coming the next day. I'd not followed anything up after our date and by then she started seeing someone else. I was 26 at the time. The shame. That I probably could have lost my virginity a lot sooner if I would have just gone back to her place to watch a movie like she offered. In 10th grade, a girl I was a friend with invited me out to the mall to Victoria's Secret to get her favorite cherry flavored lip gloss. She put it on and invited me to get in close and see if it did. After a loud QA sniff of her mouth, I assured her it did. 10 years later in nursing school, I received a retroactive diagnosis of neutron star density. For some reason I see you reaching to hand a doctor a tool while he operates on someone, and just freezing halfway through, and the patient is still cut open and you're still just frozen, and eventually you go on. She wanted to kiss me. Beautiful girl I worked with at a summer camp asked me if I wanted to go hot tubbing with her after work and told me her parents were gone. I told her I had to watch the baseball all-star game. I messed up. Baseball is life. I was dropping her off and in her driveway she said she wanted to suck my dong but I laughed it off thinking she was joking. And then she got out and we didn't really talk much after that. She went to my senior year capstone presentation. She always invited me to go lunch or dinner with her. She wanted to hang out and have movie dates. 6 months after the senior capstone of mine, she sat me down and explained her feelings towards me. I finally got it. 2 years later, still together and living together. 6 months after the senior capstone of mine, she sat me down and explained her feelings towards me. Upvote for her taking initiative and congrats to you both. I had the biggest crush on one of my friends, and at midnight on New Year's, he grabbed my face to kiss me. Being fricked up, and in denial that he would ever do that, I turned and kissed him on the cheek. Out at a bar with a girl for her birthday, she kept talking about how she just wanted to make out with a guy on her birthday. Only other person around was her pretty hot girlfriend too. They ended up making out some that night. I did not. Sigh. Something very similar happened to me. I really wasn't sure if she meant me or some other guy that wasn't her friend. She, why are you still single? Me, I don't know. I don't go out that much and meet new people, I guess. She, maybe we should go out sometime. Me, 2 weeks later. Ah crap. I was out with my buddy 17 years ago. We had hit a few bars. I drank 4 beers in 3 hours, played some darts, and decided to make one last stop. We go to our favorite hole in the wall, nasty little place that holds maybe 30 people. This girl I had a thing for was there. I asked her out a few weeks before. She declined and I moved on. She comes up to us, being very forward and telling jokes and this and that. Seeing as we are talking about fishing, I kinda let it go in one ear and out the other. She walks away and leaves. A couple of minutes later, my buddy hasn't said a word. I ask what's wrong. He says, Woodspudder, you have to be the dumbest sob to ever walk the planet. I start to get a little huffy. He grabs me by the shoulder and screams, she just showed you her panties and asked if you like pink thongs. She was asking you to go back to her place. I had no clue. I wasn't paying attention. Let this be a lesson to you. Pay attention when someone speaks to you. This makes me feel not as retarded. TLDR. Unknowingly friend-zoned myself. Bloody mixtapes. Back in the heyday of radio and when CDs just came out, I was a sophomore in high school, and a girl I had a big crush on made me a mixtape. Loads of slow jams, and she even decorated the jacket and did all of these cutesy things. I will admit I'm a bit of a late bloomer, and figured that's what friends did, as at the time, a lot of us would make each other mixtapes. She never really brought it up after she gave it to me, and even though we did hang out from time to time, she seemed to never show interest. Fast forward to first year in college. Friend finds the mixtape in car under some other old crap. Looks at it and asks, XGF make this? I says nope. A friend. Begin hilarious laughing and punching of my arm. As he states, this girl totally had a crush on you. Did you even read the jacket? I said, of course I did. She wrote all of the song titles and decorated it cutesy like. No stupid. The inside of the jacket? What inside jacket? And there, clear as day, she wrote that she loved me and how happy she is to have met me and that she can't wait to see what I think do after I listen to the music. Bloody heck. God, this one hurts to read. Back in my college years, a woman cuddled up to me in the backseat of a car because she liked the cigarette smell on my jacket. Should have responded, I like then fish smell of your pants. In 8th grade, 2 girls told me they thought I was cute and that they wanted to kiss me. Together, I thought it was a trick, so I hit them with a stick and ran away. To be fair, in 8th grade, you may have been right. Was having a party at my house, 17, at the time. Getting late, party is coming to an end. Go to my bed to crash. Find cute blonde girl laying on my bed. Think to myself, well crap, can't sleep there. Someone already there. Go somewhere else to crash. Wake up the next morning. Complain to the girl that she was in my bed. She says, well, you could have joined me yak now. Still didn't take the hint. Proceed to make dumb jokes about liking to fart in bed. She gives up on me and dates friend. To be fair, you do not want to gamble on something like that. Cute girl I met at camp helped me fold my clothes. I just thought she was being nice. Mutual friend later confirmed that yes, she really liked me. It takes a special girl that wants to touch your underwear. I can deep throat and have no gag reflex. That's weird. Did you have bad tonsillitis as a kid or something? He told me and I asked him what TV show movie he was quoting. So, I had a guy friend who would send random quotes from The Office since we were both fans. One day he texted me, "I like you, like more than a friend." So I wrote back, "What's that from?" I even googled it and I don't see anything. He wrote back, "I don't know, it sounds like it could be a quote from the show." He later told me he was trying to tell me he liked me, but my response threw him off. A girl from work who I had hung out with a few times called me up to hang out at her place one night. She was a little drunk, and as soon as I got there her friends said goodnight and left. She turned on a movie and she sat down next to me on the couch while we watched it. About halfway through, "I'm getting tired. I think I'm gonna go to bed," looks me right in the eye. Me, "Okay, good night." I got about halfway home before I realized that I am in fact a moron. The biggest hint, you say? This girl I was seriously into for a year and who I'd previously made out with came over to my dorm room on move out day to help me pack. She spent the entire 2 hours sitting on my bed watching me pack and flirting very openly with me. My dad was bringing his truck out to help me move my stuff home, and I was keeping an eye on the time to make sure I was ready to go when he showed up. I finally got all my stuff packed, and since my college had no AC, I was sweating bullets. I told her that I was going to take a shower and she could hang out in my room if she wanted. She said, "Oh, do I get to watch you undress?" being a bit self-conscious of my decidedly less than stellar physique. I said no, and asked why. She said, "Fred the Moose, you don't get it, do you? I want to give you ABJ." You totally caught me off guard, so I just laughed awkwardly and walked out of the room to the showers. By the time I got back to the room my dad had arrived and she helped us move my stuff out. Then I shook her hand and said bye. Went out on a first date. Things were moving along well. When I went to drop her off, she asked me to come up to her apartment for coffee. I said, "I can't drink coffee, it keeps me up." It became very clear to me reading Reddit today that every decision I've made in my entire life has been wrong. My life is the complete opposite of everything I want it to be. Every instinct I have, in every aspect of life, be it something to wear, something to eat, it's all been wrong. She told one of my good friends Michael that she wanted to hook up with Emmy and he never told Emmy because he was a petty bee. But on the real, I was pee at him for a while. It was not till we were in the car together a week after graduation and I was texting with her that he mentioned, "Oh yeah, by the way Kate wanted to hook up with you." Frick you Michael. Frick you. This is so high school my trapper keeper hurts. I've been waiting for this. When I was about 18 I had a friend who was a cam girl. We had known each other for quite a while but nothing had ever happened between us. One day she came over for a few drinks. It was just me and her and she decided to show me some of the videos she had online of herself masturbating etc. After that she asked if she could stay at my house. We went to bed, she got undressed, and we went to sleep. Yep, totally missed the boat on that one. TLDR. Girl shows me naked videos of her diddling herself and takes me to bed. I think she wants to be friends. Was at a New Year's party and at 11:56 was talking to a girl who said, "Man, I wish I could kiss someone at midnight on New Year's." I was like, "Me too. Sounds like it'd be fun." We were quite literally the only singles at the party and were sitting directly next to each other when midnight struck. She looked over at me and I just kind of smiled and went back to drinking my Sprite. The worst part is I saw her again the following New Year's, joked about missing the hint and she said, "Haha, yeah, you were kind of oblivious," and then the exact same thing happened a second time. Dude. I just had to create an account because this thread was just freaking made for me. She said, "Look at my boobs," and then showed me her boobs. Never thought twice about it. They appear to be very healthy. Congratulations. Apparently she asked me, "Would you go out with me?" Not sure how attracted she was though. She dated 6 boys in the following 6 days. Our middle school. During a party a friend of mine decided to stay over rather than go home with her friends. I told her she could crash in the spare room. Then this conversation happened. Her, I'm going to bed now. Me, are you're going into my room. Her, I know. Smiles and walks into my room. Me, hug. Hey look. Bia, proceed to get blackout drunk. No sexy times for me. TL. DR. I am not a smart man. Dang. Even my erection gave up on me. In 11th grade, I was in a math class. I forget what subject exactly, and I was sitting next to my best friend. Let's call her Haley. Keep in mind that I was pretty much in love with her, but I'm pretty sure she had no clue. Anyways, she starts telling me about how she just shaved her legs the night before, and today she's wearing these tight little Jean shorts. So she asks me to feel her legs, and I am kind of like, what? So she grabs my hand, moves it slowly up her thighs until she's about to get to her pee. At the last second I be out and pull my hand away. She kind of looked shocked. I'm a dumbass and cringe every time I think about it. Let's call her Haley, proceeds to never refer to her by the name Haley. Namago swear, can I sleep in your bed tonight? And I just huddled against the wall, confused and annoyed about why this girl is taking up half of my little twin bed. Happened 2 or 3 times freshman year. I am not the quickest on the uptake. Created an account just to post this story. I'm late to the party so not many will see it, but oh well. When I was 17, a guy friend of mine and I had been dancing around the subject of actually dating each other for a while. He'd taken me on picnics and made me a cake for my birthday. I'd basically been working something like, I'd definitely date you, or I think you look better with your shirt off, into something like every other conversation. So one night, we go to a show and head back to my house. I invite him to hang out for a while at my house, as my parents are literally out of the country and not going to be there. But when we get there, my brother is hanging out with a bunch of his friends in the living room. I shrug and think, even better, and I suggest that we hang out in my room instead. Now, there is absolutely nothing to do in my room, so we hang out on the bed, and I start getting comfortable. By that I mean, we're kissing and I'm stripping. I am literally in a thong and lacy bra when he says something like, do you want to go to breakfast tomorrow morning? I think this means he's staying, which is awesome, and I agree. He gets up, still fully clothed despite my several suggestions that he join me in disrobing, and says, I'll pick you up around 10 tomorrow. Then all I can do is nod, shocked, speechless, and he leaves. Now, I've heard about all these girls who are so vague in their flirting they really can't complain about not getting laid, but I'm pretty sure I'm in the clear on this one. Note, for those of you thinking, maybe he didn't want to have sex with you, we went on to date and have sex for 2.5 years. I think he probably did. He probably just didn't know what to do and panicked. My time to shine. Met a girl through a mutual friend's band's concert. Yup, that's right. Hit it off all night. She lived 1.5 hours away. We texted constantly. She randomly says all her roommates are away and she's lonely, so I offer to visit that day. She's shocked but agrees. I show up. She's still in happy shock. We go see a movie, have a late night drink snack at a restaurant, then head back to her place for the night. Okay, here we go. 1. She asks if I want a shower. I say no, because I don't want to use up her or her roommate's supplies. Girls can be sensitive about that. 2. I instinctively go to bed down on the couch. I want to try for a relationship with this girl and don't want to be a creep. 3. We change for bed and she comes out to wish me goodnight. She's in a button down shirt, cotton shorts, and nothing else. She leans over to say goodnight, blatantly shows off her breasts, 2 buttons buttoned, covers them with her hand like it was an accident, and grins sheepishly. I grin back and say goodnight. She heads to her room. We sleep. The next day, she shows me around town, but with much less enthusiasm than the previous evening. We still get along well. Lunch and goodbyes. I try to continue the texting spree, but she doesn't seem interested. I try to have her visit me, but never happens. We end up blocking each other's numbers. I'm a moron. 8th grade, taking a late bus back from a school-related event. Playing truth or dare on the bus, and one girl's friend had her sit on my lap for the remainder of the ride and kiss me on the cheek. It took me 2 years to end up dating her after several similar things happening, and I realized it was all her idea to have her friend make her do those things in the first place. At the home of girl I had a crush on, watching a movie. She is under a blanket and starts to squirm around a little. After a few soft moans and other hints, I realized she was playing with herself. However, I was so convinced she wouldn't want to do anything more, I pretended I was too into the movie to notice. Awesome. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.